Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we're making an acoustic guitar fretboard template. This might seem like wicked overkill, but why not? I used my Thermwood CNC router, which is around 12,000 pounds. It has a 5x10 table, and I made this little acoustic guitar fretboard template with it. Now, the thickness of this is a little bit less than 3/4 inch thick, and it's MDF. So it could definitely plow through this in 2 seconds. Now, but what you'll notice is that I actually have my router going about 4 passes to cut through it. And although I could do it in 1 pass, I decided to do it as 4. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, when you're doing something this small, there's not much vacuum hold down. I have 2 massive Becklin vacuum pumps to suck stuff down. But on a 5x10 table, even if you cover everything up and you do something this small, it does sometimes move on you, and I wanted to not have that happen. So when you look at the video, you actually see that I have not only this on the machine, everything closed up on the table, so I get as much vacuum as possible, but I also screwed down the board onto the table, which is the nice thing about having an MDF spoil board. And the other thing I did, in addition to that, is you'll notice the machine when it goes over, it actually goes up a little bit and goes down. And it does that at 3 different spots on this fretboard. The reason for that is because I also added tabs. Now, by doing all of this, it means that when I cut this out, it's absolutely perfect. If I skip any of those steps, maybe it'll be perfect, maybe not. Maybe this thing will go flying to my head, who knows? But by sort of being overcautious with such a big machine, I can produce really, really nice results for the customer, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So you might be wondering, how do you go about getting us the files we need to do our work so that you get what you want? In this case here, the customer did a sketch with a pencil or marker, and with a couple reference measurements. From that, I made the CAD file, and from that CAD file, they reviewed it and made a couple more adjustments, and then we used that basically to make the part that you see here. Now, when it comes to cutting out parts like this on a machine like this, it's kind of strange because the CAD file we use for the router, in this case the Thermwood, is the same we use for the laser, same we use for the plasma, same we use for the water jet, same we use for the fiber. They're all interchangeable, so it actually works out pretty well. And that's why when we do jobs with multiple machines, everything sort of works because the tolerances and the specs of the machines are all interchangeable. Again, the router is perfect for wood. I wouldn't cut metal with it, but if I had to cut this piece using the plasma cutter or the water jar or whatever, it'd be the same file. So you have the same sort of final results regardless of the file that we use. Now you might be wondering, why not use my laser to cut this out? I could technically use my laser. It is powerful enough to cut roughly 3/4 inch MDF. I've done it before, it's not a big deal. The reason why I didn't do it this time is because when it comes to making templates, you need a nice 90-degree edge. So you need this to be absolutely perfect. And again, having a machine this big and this powerful, that's not an issue whatsoever. But what the laser does is, at the top of the cut, it's perfectly 90 degrees. But as it gets through, it gets through by burning. And what I mean by that is, here is optimal energy, and then it sort of spreads a little bit. And you end up with a bit of a kerf. Now, if this job was done using 1/8 MDF, laser is totally fine for it. The kerf is so minor you wouldn't notice. But in this case here, the customer is using a router, hand router, to cut out the template, obviously. And for that, you want to have a nice, clean, 90-degree surface to go around and do the job. And that's why I used this instead of my other machines in the shop. Another option to do this, we've done again in the past, is actually making this out of stainless steel or mild steel or what have you. We have plasma cutter, we have laser, we could do that just as easily. But the cost is tremendously more than just cutting out MDF. So when it comes to what the customer needs and the budget involved, the timeline, all those kind of things, they all come together and they decided this on this and ship it out. So that's what we did. So looking for custom guitar templates, whole guitars, small guitar pieces, what have you, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll cut it for you and ship it right to your door using any material you want.